Invading the internet, covering Web 2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.
We're definitely Social Blade, but I don't know if you call it social media tonight. Tonight we're discussing more anti-social media. Thanks to our guest, Jay Dolan. Jay, how are you doing?
I'm super. Thanks for
Excellent.
asking.
For those who don't know, Jay is a failed classical singer and a successful social media blogger. He's the founder of theantisocialmedia.com, which, in our opinion, is by far the best social media satire site of all time. If you have never been there, then you need to, because it'll make you laugh. Sometimes it'll make you cry, but no matter what happens, it'll make you think. And that's the goal, not only with theantisocialmedia.com, but also for us here at the Social Blade Show. This is episode number 66, and what a super episode it is, because we had a very special birthday yesterday. For those who don't know, yesterday, in 1940, Richard Pryor was born. And so yesterday was Richard Pryor's 70th birthday. So this show goes out to him. And actually, the funny part is about 40 years later, our very own Jason Ergo was also born. So 40 years after Richard Pryor, I believe. Isn't that right? Let me see if my math is correct. He was born in 1940. Ergo was born in 1980.
That's 40 years.
Yeah, that is 40 years.
Yeah.
So Aaron's laugh just made her kind of embarrassed her.
Thanks, JD.
Really? Because I thought you were actually calling Ergo 40. Like,
No, he said 40 years later. He was right.
I was correct. 40 years after Richard Pryor was born. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but 40 years after Richard Pryor was born, Ergo was born. And as a matter of fact, a couple years after Ergo was born, on the following day, Britney Spears was born. Coincidence? I think not.
Wait, I share a birthday with Britney Spears? I didn't know that.
Today is Britney Spears' birthday.
Oh, no, it's the day after. Okay.
Yeah.
December 2nd.
Yeah, December's a great day.
Well, I think we're mistaking, because I think Jason Pearsall is 30.
Yes.
Ergo is 15.
Yes.
There we go. Ergo, the 15-year-old. But he's actually, see, the funny part is, I was very shocked to find out that he was 30, because I really, he looks like he's about, I would say, 21, 22, but he acts like he's about 45 or 50 sometimes.
Yes.
He's an old soul.
And we seem to have lost JD, actually. He is completely frozen here now. So
He's frozen in time.
yes, he's frozen in time.
With my social media satire.
Yes. So
Wow. So what did I miss? I went dark there for a second, or did we all?
no, just you.
Just me. Well, I introduced myself. Did we catch that part at least?
No, you are JD Rucker. Yeah, that's true. We haven't actually introduced ourselves here. So I'm Jason
Hi, I'm
Ergo.
JD Rucker.
One at a time.
Who are the rest of us here?
I'm Aaron Ryan.
And I'm Jeff Kreider.
And as you guys know, we also have Ergo, who would normally go now, but he went first, technically second, and then I went third, even though I also went first. What a day it's been. Jay, this is how we start every show. How are you doing, by the way? Thank you so much for joining us. And what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dr. Pepper, which is the greatest soda ever.
I'm a pepper, too. Today's show is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Will listen royalty checks, care of JD Rucker, please. So yeah, this week, from a social media perspective, was, I don't know, the best way to describe it was just absolutely jam-packed with some amazing news. There's a few different things going on right now, and if Ergo can, I'd like to show a little graphic that the reason that I'm bringing this up, this is about Wikipedia, not Wikimedia, not WikiLeaks, nothing like that. This is Wikipedia, and this was it's something that has transformed my own opinion. For those of you who follow the show, you'll know that in the past, we've had arguments about how sites are able to make money and how they're able to generate revenue for the site. And when I first saw the appeal, the personal appeal by Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia, I was disgusted. I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, here we go again. Get to see his face at the top of the screen every time I click on a link from Google. But I've changed my mind since then, because not just because it's been successful, as you can see here on the graphic. This is a breakdown of this is their fourth attempt to raise money, and this shows their daily earnings based upon those attempts. The first time they did a thank you for the brain massage, as kind of a cheesy little make sure to we're helping you with stuff because stimulating your brain. So help us, and they were able to make about $580 a day. Then there's next one was depend on Wikipedia for information. Now it depends on you. So basically, they're saying you use us, so we need your help, and they made about $2,900 a day. And then they went kind of humorous, kind of funny, and they went after a different demographic and then said, admitted, without Wikipedia, you never could have finished that report. And that garnered $3,000 a day. And these are good numbers for a site that has no revenue model. But it wasn't until they finally did an appeal, and they called it Please Read, a personal appeal from Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales. And since then, they've also added others, Please Read, a personal appeal from Wikipedia writer such and such, Joe Bob, or whatever. But this has generated $47,433 a day in funds and revenue and support for the site. And that's when I started thinking about it. This could actually work. If a site such as like Facebook or Twitter, for example, who have their own revenue models, but sometimes get abused by the public for using advertising or marketing or sponsoring of tweets and Facebook pages, using this to generate money, they get abused. So what if they just came out and asked, say, look, you use Facebook connects the world, we could use your help, and here's what you can do. Now, again, I keep in mind, I'm not suggesting that Facebook goes out and does this, because they have no problem with money right now. But Twitter, on the other hand, probably could. I'll bet you if they went out and you had their new CEO and/or even some of their founders and a bunch of influential Twitter users come out and say, keep Twitter free, keep Twitter ad free. Send us a little bit of money, $5, $10, $20, whatever, $1, I don't care. Then I think that people would actually do it. I want to get your all's opinion. What do you think? Let's start with Jeff. Jeff, what do you think? Do you think that Twitter could pull it off, or Facebook? And what do you think in general about what Wikipedia has done with their fund drive, so to speak?
Facebook definitely couldn't pull it off. No one wants to give money to the rich. Twitter, it might. I don't think it would. I think Wikipedia is unique in the fact that, it's basically just pure public. It's not. You don't see Wikipedia as the giant that Facebook or Twitter might be. But in terms of how they're doing it, they've been really successful. As the graph shows, it's unbelievable how successful they've been. Considering their past attempts, and I also think it how much Wikipedia has grown since a couple of years ago. It's unbelievable how much they've grown, leaps and bounds. And I think what they're doing is pretty great. I think the way they're going about it is pretty not too interference. But obviously people like Wikipedia and they want them to stick around, and they're obviously showing them that they want more from them.
Nice. Well, Ergo, you know that there's a little bit from a technical perspective that they've actually taken it beyond just asking for it on their site. Is that correct?
Yeah, they've taken it to all sorts of other sites. They actually got sponsored links on Google, Reddit, Dig, YouTube, even Social Blade ourselves. We had it on our site there. Look at that, Jimmy Wales. Now, actually, there was a Chrome plugin. We wrote a story about this a week or so ago. There's a Chrome plugin made that any site you went to, you could get Jimmy Wales at the top there.
And did it actually link?
Oh, it did. Yeah, it went right to the same link. I don't have it loaded at the moment, but it was pretty fun.
So if somebody wanted to write a malware script and attach it inside of some Flash application, they could force Chrome users to start seeing this, and they wouldn't know any better. They would just suddenly start doing this.
Jimmy Wales owns the internet.
Jimmy Wales is the internet. Let's face it. Oh yeah, Jay, how much have you donated so far to Wikipedia?
Nothing. It's like the NPR pledge drive. It's just there every day, and it's there way too much. And eventually, I might break down, but I haven't broken down yet. And I listen to NPR every day, and I read Wikipedia every day.
Nice.
Nice. So I'm clearly just I'm living the American dream of living off the public.
There you go. I always think there's got to be somebody who's got more money than me who can donate.
JD, you brought up a good point, though. I mean, applying this to Twitter, do you think, anyone here, would you guys pay to use Twitter or donate to Twitter? I would say
yes. Don't forget, there's a difference between. We're not suggesting, when the pay to use Twitter is to create premium accounts. I'm saying, get out there, and you have a lot of us, particularly companies and individuals that are rich. You've got Alyssa Milano who lives on Twitter. You've got Zappos and a lot of other companies that have built their reputation based upon their adoption of Twitter. And my suggestion is Twitter. They get all this free publicity, this free communication for free. Allow myself to introduce myself, and therefore, if they came out and asked, I think that they could get some. I don't think they could do $47,000 a day, but I think they could legitimately do $10,000 a day. The reason that Wikipedia has no agenda. They're not for profit. No, they're just a resource. Twitter is for profit, so I don't think they could ever match what Wikipedia has done. But with that said, I mean the prospects of picking up $10,000 a day for 30 days, I think that's that's more than a drop in the bucket. I think it's something we should do.
Have you ever donated to anything like this, online?
I've donated. I've donated to smaller sites.
I've obviously done the Salvation Army, walking out of the grocery store and you slip in like $10 or something, or the Boy Scouts. But in terms of online, I've never done it. I see it, but I never do it.
I want you guys to notice that Jeff is a high roller. I'm pulling out my loose change and give it to the Salvation Army. Jeff's pulling out the 10 and dropping it in there.
Well, no, I do it once a year, and I put in $10.
You're really helping the homeless there.
Well,
exactly.
I have donated to Mario Marathon or Mario Marathon.
Yeah,
Mario,
that's really
Mario.
That's the only real donations I've done. Yeah, Mario Marathon every year.
Stephen,
giving to a company, or not giving to it, but giving to something like Wikipedia, where it's different than giving to Goodwill or Salvation Army or a charity. It's giving to a company. I don't know. It just feels a little weird doing that.
Steven0118 in the chat donated to Kevin MacLeod. For those who don't know, Kevin MacLeod was a guest approximately a year ago who does royalty-free music, and he does very well. And he also sells graph paper. And that's not a joke. That's in all seriousness.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So let's put a poll. If we were to, as Social Blade, because we too are a free resource, and if we at Social Blade were to put up a personal appeal from Aaron Ryan, would you all donate? And would you be willing to donate in the triple or quadruple digits? That's the question. So we'll put that poll up later. But in the meantime, there's other forms of advertising and money making that other sites, perhaps more affluent sites and less nonprofit sites, such as YouTube, may be doing soon or even now.
Yeah, no, YouTube, they've had ads for a couple of years now. I'm not exactly sure the exact date offhand, but just this past August, they've rolled out what's called pre-roll ads to sort of all of their partners. And since then, they've been testing this little thing that you've probably seen this on sites like Hulu, where you can sort of, it starts doing a pre-roll at the beginning of the video, but you have a few seconds that you have to watch it, and then you can sort of skip it if you're not interested in it. And YouTube, again, has been trialing this, and now they're rolling it out to all of their advertisers. So the only time I've seen it thus far was in the trials. They had like a 2 or 3 minute Chrome commercial. You might have seen it. It was the Google engineers testing Chrome. So they made you watch the first 5 seconds of it, and then after this little countdown that you see on the screen here, an example of it, you could skip it. So what they're doing with this new format here is now advertisers, basically, if someone skips their ad, they don't get charged for it here, which is good for the advertiser. But, they won't see the whole advertisement. But it sort of gives the user a little power here also. And the theory is, according to their testing and what they're going for, if someone wants to watch the ad, they're much more likely to want to buy the product or find out more information about it. So theoretically, having a skip button there means that if people aren't going to be wanting to see it anyway, there's no point in having it there, and people are happy all around that way.
Can you show us how big the skip button is again?
It's. I mean, this is a picture of a video here, and it's not showing it in the screenshot here, but I believe up at the top here, the top, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of the screen, it'll have a button that says you can skip this. After this timer runs out, there'll be a skip button there.
Okay. So as long as it's big enough, because I think, I've always been a big fan of, and I've actually worked on trying to get what I like to call opt-in advertising, where you get to choose what ads and how you're able to be advertised to. Tonight's show is brought to you by YouTube, according to Ergo.
These are the little ads that they have. You can click on the top of the show and you can skip it now.
Yeah, there you go. So make sure not to skip the show, though.
Yeah, but there's one other thing though that they're trying here. I haven't actually seen any of this on YouTube yet, but if you're familiar with Hulu, they also have a thing where you can actually pick one of 3 ads to see. And apparently YouTube is also working on that format as well.
This is
choose your own adventure.
Exactly. Choose your own adventure, if you will.
Oh, I see what you did there.
They should totally call it that. I don't think they've done that yet.
Clever. We should put something up on the anti-social media about this.
No, but I mean, this forces advertisers.
It's a collaborative blog now.
Oh, I say we. It's just, I've already taken it over.
It's a dictatorship.
Well, you said earlier. I have had guest bloggers, and I just automatically say, "Oh, I'll do it. Here, give me a login. I'll post now. Cancel me from the show. I'm in." No, you're right. I should ask first.
Steven makes a point here also in the chat room. You can actually successfully use ad block on YouTube, and it will block these ads. So. He's wondering, in general, though, also how much, I guess, people lose out to ad block. But that sort of also goes with the skipping of ads. Theoretically, also, the people that use ad block would be the ones least likely to be influenced by the advertising anyway, even if it is there. So they'd be the ones that would skip it and not care about the ad in the first place and not act on it. So
they could be actually more influenced because they're not seeing ads, and just they're
you
just
have a good point there.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, my video's frozen. Anyway, this causes advertisers to do more along the lines of something that Old Spice did a couple months ago. You have to create ads that tell a story or attract an audience rather than being overly salesy with it.
Right.
You have to make them want to watch your video, and in doing so, telling a story about your brand.
And you got 5 seconds to do it before the person tunes out.
So I guess the swagger wagon is out for that.
Yes.
Obscure reference. Nobody got it.
I did.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Nobody,
no one likes the swagger.
No, that's even worse. They got it. They just didn't feel the need to comment on it. I'm gonna skip myself today.
A moment of peace. A moment of silence.
So it's today's portion of educational web television. We're going to turn to our co-host in Canada, Ms. Erin Ryan, who's going to help us in case something happens to our business Facebook page. Erin?
Yeah, I like how you said our co-host in Canada, since everyone's talking about me being in Canada and how hard it is. Yes, it's speaking of hard, it can be difficult if you lose your Facebook page to someone else because you entrusted them to own it in your business's name. Big no-no. But luckily there's help out there, and a lot of people have difficulty even finding this help. So I decided I was going to do a little bit of research so I could help you guys if this has happened to you, or maybe somebody you know, because it's happened a lot. The first thing you want to do prior to making a Facebook page, just make sure that if you're doing it in a business, you need to make sure the person you're allowing it to be under a profile, because that's the thing. With Facebook, it has to be attached to a profile, although they don't intermingle. So nobody knows that it's your profile it's attached to. It just needs that. So Facebook stays, I guess, clean and not just with a bunch of random pages and turns into a place called MySpace. However, in that instance, you need to make sure that the person that you're entrusting it to is a long-term employee. Even if they don't use Facebook all that often, or even at all, you want to attach it to a profile that you have access to and isn't just to one person, just to one person. Because if they leave, they take your business's page with you and ultimately hurts you. Because first of all, you're not owning your name on that site anymore, and it's really bad not to own your name on Facebook these days. And the other thing is that what if they end it in a bad situation with you? So they could actually go out there and harm your online reputation by saying stuff or using that page for other things. So you got to be very careful. Unfortunately, this has happened quite a bit with people out there because, you know, getting started on Facebook, it's like, I don't really know how to do it, but this person says they know how to do it. They might be younger. I don't know. Whatever the case is, it's happened a lot. And there are 3 steps that you can take, my friend, to help fix it and get the page back into your name. Now, it's going to take a few steps. It might take a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it because you need to own your name online, no matter where it is, social media or not. So first you want to do is you want to fill out a DMCA notice of copyright infringement. Read it carefully. Everything you need to read carefully when it comes to Facebook, because with everything that you read and you fill out, you got to fill it out honestly. In some instances, you've got to provide proof of identification that this is your business, and sometimes it's a number, whatever it is that you need to provide. But you have to remember that you're signing it, and electronic signatures are just as important and just as relevant as a written one. So you fill that out. I would actually suggest filling out all 3 of these so you get the attention of somebody at Facebook. The second one I'd fill out is notice of intellectual property infringement, non-copyright claim. And you fill that out, and you know, signing and proving that you own the business could help you retrieve your page. So have all of that with you, and obviously, like I've already stated, be honest. And finally, you want to fill out the username infringement. This is probably going to be your best bet because this is more detailed, more in-depth. It does ask you more proof of verification, all those types of things. So you want to fill this out, and I might even start with that. But those 3 I would definitely fill out, reclaim your business's name and the page, and have it switched to you being the owner. And make sure that you happen to be a long-term employee, because you don't want to get it switched and this happens all over again. So those are the 3 steps that you can take. They're hard to find, but you can find them at sociable.com. We'll also have them at socialblade.com.
They're hard for some people to find, but not for Aaron Ryan.
No, actually, it was kind of hard to find. It took me a little bit of time, and it was like, you know, this should be a lot easier. And that's what inspired me to write it, because, you know, I don't like spending time searching for a lot of, for information that I think I should have the right to know about and should be actually in even the like questions of Facebook. You think that under like common questions, that would be one of them, since it is quite a hot topic when it comes to businesses out there.
Oh, I know. I've had people ask me. Some of our clients have said, you know, what do we do in that situation? I just looked at them square in the eye and said, man, you're done. It's over. There's nothing you can do. You might as well just change. You'll have a better chance changing the name of your business than you will of getting your business Facebook page back. Just dump Facebook altogether. Move back to MySpace. That's your best bet. That's the advice I give, and I stick by that.
I know that's not true. Because
it is partially true.
My little Facebook monster inside would be screaming. But you know, it is in a sense partially true. If you were to say some of that, not all of it, with your dramatics, but you know, the worst case scenario is you do have to start all over again. And think about all that hard work, all that branding, networking, the people that have followed your page. That would be a mess. And your SEO that already started ranking, you know, because Facebook ranks very well in search engines. So if you're constantly active and you're taking part in your community, and then all of a sudden you don't own that page anymore, that really does suck big time. So you got to be careful out there.
It's a dangerous world.
It's a dangerous world. It's a dangerous Facebook world at times.
It's hard when Facebook controls the whole internet.
Jay.
Which it does. It's a shame. Well, we do have, luckily, Social Blade is taken. I just tried to sneak in and steal the anti-social media, but it's already taken as well. So we've got all of our bases covered on Facebook, at least amongst our guests tonight. I do have Jeff Kreider So that's Facebook.com/Jeff Kreider is now me.
Oh, you have.
Oh, the evil, the evil. So yes, if you have any questions, again, we'll be posting this on socialblade.com/show. It's already up on Sociable. And Aaron, thank you so much for that research. That was fantabulous, fantastical, and just jam-packed with information that we need. She is such a good researcher, but there's other research out there, not done by Aaron Ryan. That's
Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. Thank you, Ergo.
You got it.
Warsaw University of Technology has come out with some research that found people who comment online are often motivated by emotions, and negative emotions at that. They go on to say the longer online discussions last, the more likely they are to turn increasingly negative, and in doing so, these negative discussions dissolve into a back-and-forth volley sustained by fewer and fewer commentators. Wow. I don't know if they needed to do research to figure that out. But all you have to do is take a look at the YouTube commenters, and it's pretty much down pat there. But I will spare you with the rest of the research jargon. Let you take a look at that yourself. I'll post the comment in the comment box. But I want to hit on why do we think this is why do we think comments online that happen online tend to go negatively?
I think it's because we lose our inhibition. This is kind of conflicting though with another study that we actually talked about a couple of months ago in regards to our oxytocins go up when they did a study on a man whose oxytocins went up just as if he was about to walk down the aisle. Remember that? That's the same equivalency. So this is kind of a different spin. I have to say this before we continue. The troll that Jay drew is so much better.
Yes, that's why I pulled it up. I saw this troll here and I was like, no, this one's much better.
Yeah.
It's large.
But I think
That's a gratuitous.
the cutest thing ever. I want that on a T-shirt. It's so cute. But, I think that we lose our inhibitions and we just let it go. And we don't really care about the other person as much as we don't attach our feelings. And I think it depends on what social network we're referring to. And I don't know necessarily how much it breaks down within that article. But that would be interesting if somebody did actually do a study between, is it a lot on Facebook compared to Twitter? I mean, Twitter is more random people than it is on Facebook. Facebook is usually a lot of more people that you know. Or if you're connected to, some random people, that the people that you know are going to see it if there is an argument on there. So I'm wondering if there's less on Facebook and more on Twitter because of the randomness. I don't know.
I think it more has to do with, and let's just kind of push this article aside. I don't really want to talk about what, a little more. I don't really want to cover the research. I want to kind of create this discussion. But, it might be because Facebook is more of, you have a profile page, which is considered like an online property, where if you're like on a like a forum or something where you're kind of more behind a curtain, you can have, kind of an alias name. No one really knows who you are. Where on Facebook, someone can actually come and know physically who you are, and it's a little more personal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I love it. And at this point, I didn't realize there was going to be a stop, or else we would have had a dramatic segue into into our guest. But let's first take a look at the poll results of if Aaron Ryan were to come on and beg Jimmy Wales style for money for Social Blade, how would you guys respond? And two of you have just been ejected from the show. Those who said no way, you're gone. You're out of here. You're never. No, I'm just teasing.
JD, it was Virgo and Jeff.
I'm sorry?
So it was Virgo and Jeff.
I didn't actually vote.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't me.
No, but thank you so much. So we figure that's 9 people who have agreed. We do not have your IP addresses as well as your physical addresses. We'll be sending you an invoice, and we expect the money. You have. And first we start with the collection letters, and then we
Yes, with the collection letters. That's funny. I did ask if I need to cry, and Katrina said that I did. I would have to cry. I'd have to have a crying face. I don't know if it's the ugly cry or how in depth she'd want me to do it, but I'd have to have a crying face in order for her to pay. But she would pay. Interesting. 9% of you, thank you. That rocks my socks. So yeah, I think that, before we move on, I think that, whether we choose to be positive or negative online, it has to do with the approach of the situation. I think that's what has to be analyzed.
So it depends on how the guy from Jersey Shore approaches it?
Depends on the situation, man. It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
No. But do you think people, users online, are inherently evil or good?
I don't think it's online. I think it's in general. If we look at the world, can we ask that same question? Are people inherently good or bad? And in certain situations, people are bad, and in certain situations, people are good. I think that overall, we have we don't have a chaotic society, and that's online included, because if you look at it, we're not all bashing each other. We're not all bullying each other. We do have those trolls out there that like some social networks more than other, like YouTube or Dig. But, there are places where we civilly get along, and we don't have any policemen telling us that this is the way we need to be. We just act that way because that's kind of the right thing to do. I'm kidding, Katrina. I'm just teasing about YouTube. YouTube, yay! We have to dumb it down a little bit because Ergo's all like wearing the YouTube shirt and drinking the mug. I gotta dial it back. That's like me sitting here with like FB written on my forehead, and I think it's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But YouTube power forever. Okay. But I think that's what happens. I think it's the situation, and the video, for example, if you do take YouTube as an example, right? They're commenting to a video, not to a direct person. Where on Twitter, you're actually replying someone directly in real time. So as you can see, there's less negativity on Twitter than there is on YouTube because it's not real. It's not this instant flow of talking. So I think it's the situation. So I think it's the social network. I liked how you said that, Jay, though. That was funny. You mean the Jersey Shore guy? Yeah. Are you a troll?
Yeah, we have a new instant poll. The results are still tabulating, but the choices are yes, no, sometimes, or no, but I feed them. And it looks like no, but I feed them is very close to no. But we got a bunch of trolls here.
Is it possible that people are trolls without knowing that they're trolls?
Ooh.
Or is it possible that we all have inner trolls that we'd like to come out and play, but we just don't?
I've got an outie myself, so.
I was gonna say I was fed after midnight, and then my trolls came out.
There you go.
So, like a gremlin?
Yeah.
Is this what we're talking about?
Wow, that's awesome.
That was the reference. Excellent.
That's awesome because I actually just used a gremlin reference like 2 days ago also. A friend of mine posted an ultrasound, I guess, and I called their baby a gremlin.
Wow, that's negative.
Wow.
I was a troll, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a trolling comment, yes. But it must be fate then, because now we have someone using gremlin sayings from the movie Gremlin. Nice.
If I had seen the movie Troll, I'd make troll references, but I have not seen that movie yet.
It's in the making. Social Blade's actually making a movie called Trolls.
There is a movie called Troll with 2 sequels.
Really? I know there's Leprechaun. I know there's Leprechaun, but I've never heard of Troll. I should check that out.
I don't think it's made it up to Canada yet, but it will. Yeah, it was made in the 90s here, so you guys should get it by next year.
You tell me that doesn't look like a gremlin.
I totally see what you're saying, Jason.
I told you.
It does look like
I was demonstrating trolling there. Nothing to fear, nothing to see here. That was my attempt at trolling. Did you know that trolling is actually has nothing to do with trolls? The initial term was basically a fishing reference. I did not know that.
I
Oh,
did not know.
more banter did
Yeah.
because you said it right before you did in the
I
chat.
get that. I get that.
Yeah, no, there's trolling is the art of trolling as a fisherman is to take your boat and to take a lot of lines and drop them in the water and try to get people to take the bait, or not people, try to get fish to take the bait. You know, you just drag out your lines and wait for somebody to take a bite, and that's what the whole idea of trolling is. That you go on these, back in the day, you would go on forums and you would drop in infuriating or inflaming comments and try to get people to come after you, and you're baiting them to do stuff. What in the world is my dog eating?
A troll.
Sorry, he just ate a troll. So
Did you
yeah,
just
so
feed
that was
the
awesome.
trolls?
But again, before it's funny because right before I ejected myself from the show. Apparently, I was actually had a great segue into the anti-social media blog, which is which deals with not just trolling, but has a great graphic of a troll, which we've shown, and deals with the comment policy and just a plethora of things. I am going to hand this over to our interviewer, the interviewer of Jay Dolan. And that person is...
No, I was actually gonna ask. Is the anti-social media all about trolling? Is that the whole point here? tell us a little about this, Jay.
If anything, I just so this past like 2 weeks, this guy has just been like baiting me every chance I could get. So yesterday, I just had to say, I sent him an email basically being like, doing the whole like, bitch, get off my blog, it's my dictatorship, leave me alone, and if you don't, I will block everything you ever send my way. And then I just kind of had to put out for like the rest of the people, like, hey, I like y'all, but this is my policy because it's my dictatorship on the web. No, but normally I just like to pick out the topics of the week or things I kind of think of as I notice people tweet or Facebook or whatever. And I just make fun of it, or I just complain about it because it's all terrible. It really is all terrible.
What? Okay, so what made you decide to like, oh, you know what? Everybody's doing social media, so I'm going to go with doing anti-social media. What made you decide to do that?
It was a strategic decision. In late 2009, I kind of came up with this. I just actually moved into a full-time social media job, so woo, that's great.
Congrats.
But anyways, before that, I worked for a law firm in records, which, as you can imagine, is very boring, and there's not a lot of career opportunities. So I basically decided, I was like, what if there was someone like, so like you have social media, which is all about like talking with people, sharing stuff, blah. And then so I'm like, if you have like a social media, that's where you just kind of sit on the sidelines and ignore it. And then we could have anti-social media, someone who's like fully for just breaking and ruining people's connections online, whether for fun or for profit. And so I kind of originally started with along the lines of, at the time I had over like 700 Facebook friends, and I'm like, I can't keep up with this many people. They're all terrible, and some of them are from high school and I hated them. Others are from college and I don't talk to them anymore because I just met them at a party and I thought they were cute, you know, and I was trying to do that whole thing, but I have no game. So yeah, it was kind of my way to like break connections.
That's awesome. Right there and then. That was just perfect. Because the reason it's perfect is because that's exactly how I feel sometimes. I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I don't really like this person, but would it be rude to just stop following them and or tell them to go away or something? Especially the ones that keep sending me stuff. It's even worse when they continuously send me stuff. So basically my policy is I don't unfollow them necessarily unless it gets too bad. But if you send me a tweet, if I reply, I like you. If I don't reply, I mean, I don't, and this is awesome.
JD
never
never replies to
reply
my
to me.
tweets. Oh,
Yeah, can I just say, he doesn't ever reply
You
to
don't
me.
reply to me.
Case in point. So I'm sorry. So
Beautiful.
see, and the funny part is just to prove it, Jay quoted me earlier from the show in the middle of the show, very very timely of you, and I replied back to him with my own tweet. So I already like Jay a lot. So yeah, keep it running. Let's roll.
Yeah, but so I kind of I started the blog with the idea of like I wanted to get out of this job and I wanted some type of like fun. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought like, hey, I'm good with people and I like being on the internet all day. So why not social media? So I said, well, like I'm not gonna just get. I could start a social media blog, but everyone has one of those now. So I have to just do something completely insane. So that's where I kind of came up with the anti-social media, and the idea with the name was not just to be like anti-social, but also to have like the idea of the media, the liberal media, the conservative media, just the big media conglomerates, and also the Antichrist because I'm just terrible that way.
Yeah. So
now that
I mean,
can't associate with. I never considered myself the Antichrist. So now we found something that we're separate from. This is a great show so far. Continue.
so you're saying, Jay, okay, so I mean online you're apparently antisocial, yet let's just scroll over to the side there, Ergo, on the right hand side where he has like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WordPress, all the icons there for social media on the right hand. Yeah,
they're like
right
Pokemon. You gotta catch them all.
So cute. But my question to you is, are you like that in real life? Are you truly antisocial?
No. If anyone who knows me knows I'm very friendly and I'm very outgoing and I'm very flamboyant. Take that however you want to.
You're antisocial with 8,865 tweets.
He loves to talk. That doesn't mean he likes to listen. Go ahead.
I do think though that there is just that Facebook and like Twitter they encourage connections not for the value of the user but for the value of their service, and that like the more friends you have, the more things you see that might be relevant, the more time you spend on Facebook, the more ads they can serve to you. Same thing with Twitter or any like YouTube, any social network, but it just they don't do that. Hold on a second. Hello?
It's just in. He got a phone call during the show.
Oh,
It's not
hold on. We got.
breaking news.
Oh, wrong button.
Where's the breaking news soundbite?
So while he's talking about how antisocial he is online, he got a phone call from a friend.
No, yeah. No, so that was Dustin. So I'm at the theater, and Dustin is awesome, and I didn't expect anyone to be here, but Dustin is our amazing and awesome facilitator who keeps the facility safe. So I was like freaking out because I'm like, there's someone breaking in to get me. My home internet is
It was
like
the guy. It was the
slowest
guy
thing
you
ever.
blocked. It was the guy you blocked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you can all I can see like the viewership just went down as like the guests ran away.
No, but there was a good comment here. Amanda said, "Receiving a phone call equals social."
But he wasn't. This was an actual intruder.
Oh.
Antisocial blade.
Yes, I like this. Amanda puts breaking news equals antisocial dude kidnapped. That's a good tweet.
It's a-
Live on the Social Blade Show.
Will anybody miss him? That's the question. Yeah.
It's okay
but so
if nobody misses me. I'm so sorry about that.
No.
we would miss you. You're such a delight. My question to you is, what is your favorite social network? I know you're antisocial online, but you gotta have one. I know you and I had a little we had a little going back and forth last night on Twitter in regards to Facebook. So Facebook is not it. But what about Twitter? How much do you love Twitter?
If I had to cut off like my pinky finger, I'd probably cut it off and give it to Twitter.
Yes.
I'm not good with video, which is really sad because I'm an actor, but I'm a terrible camera actor. I really do love Twitter. I'm a real big fan right now of Instagram. I just started on it, but I really I love the speed of it, and I love just the it's like, hey, it's my picture, and it doesn't have to be good. And
I just went to Instagram.com, and it's a woman with a bra. Let's use a search here. That didn't work. I got it. Instagr.am. Love it. Okay, Moorbander sent this to me. Tell us about it.
I really like Instagram, and I guess my other favorite one would be Tumblr.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome. I am a Tumblraholic. I actually have more Tumblr blogs, more Tumbllogs than I do Twitter accounts, which is hard to imagine, but I do. I like to keep them all organized. It's pretty anal, kind of weird, but I keep them organized in separate niches. So I'm not gonna share anymore. I'm gonna stop. Aaron, say.
Don't give all your secrets away, JD. Come on.
Yes, I do. I do have a Tumblr for kitty cats. I do. It's no joke. Anyway, continue.
Well, that's the funny thing. You're talking about kitty cats. When I was on the antisocial media blog yesterday, when I was talking to you, Jay, we were talking about your cat and how much you love your cat, and how people who love the internet, they love animals. And the funny thing is that although it's a stereotype and it's kind of funny, everyone on this show right now has an animal. So, and we all love the internet. But what
it's not that people on the internet love animals. It's that they love cats and bacon.
Bacon.
I don't eat bacon, so I had to pick a cat.
We actually have had the Bacon Queen on the show before.
Yes, Amy Vernon. But
you know what? Wearing a bacon bra, like the Instagram bra.
Which is funny because she showed up at the top of my Tumblr here when I was showing Tumblr. This is Amy Vernon right here.
That's hilarious.
Without the bacon.
Without the bacon.
But back to the cats. I don't eat bacon too, by the way, which is interesting. But back to the cats. You wrote an article, and I laughed really, really hard last night when I was talking to you and having the pre-interview with you. Social media is like a cat. I'm telling you, my friends. It's hilarious. I mean, anybody who owns a cat can relate to it, and it's so true. And I wish that I had thought of it first, because it's so true. I love it. I love that analogy. Pretty perfect. So definitely check that out, because your blog is amazing. It's got a lot of satire. It's funny, and we can't all help but go, oh my gosh, that's happened to me, or I understand that feeling, or that frustration, or some of us do actually hate Thanksgiving.
Oh, geez. You don't like giving thanks?
No, I do not.
Jay,
and I don't like to do it in front of my family either.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm always at the kids' table. Well, how can I be grateful if I'm nearly 25 and still at the kids' table?
I like here's one of his stories. This is from November 17th. Was National Unfriend Day, according to Jimmy Kimmel. Did anyone actually care? And the answer we found out the following day, because the next day we had Mark Malkoff on, who was, I guess, promoting it or covering it or doing whatever it was he was doing with it. And no, it didn't. It didn't. He
was our guest 2 weeks ago.
He was our guest, right? And apparently nobody did care, because even he, who was one of the organizers, he admitted, you know what, I just couldn't do it. I tried. I actually did it for a night, and I had to get a script from Ergo on how to make it easier. And then he reminded me that I need to do some things to all of my quote unquote friends first before I actually remove them all. I might as well use them while they're there and then dump them later. That's hey, follow the Social Blade page. Bye, blocked. So it's
no, that's not very nice.
It's the truth, though. I'm sad. I'm a sad human, and I personally am anti-social media to some extent. There's certain aspects of social media that I really do dislike. So I'm gonna have to read this blog, read quite a bit more.
You should, and you should read it out loud on the streets.
Yes, you should stand on the corner like one of those poets and just
if somebody gets me an iPad, for Christmas, then I will do that. I will take a video of myself standing in the streets of Los Angeles reading the antisocialmedia.com.
You could do it.
I'm,
You could do it like carolers, except you go to the door and read an article.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm telling you also, Jay, you need to put some of these graphics on T-shirts or something. They're really they're really good.
Well, there is discussion of having an actual like physical art show of all, because I have hundreds of them. I well, not hundreds, but like at least 100. Because in addition to like the ones I make for the blog, I also have ones I've created for speeches I've given, and you know those are usually like 20, 30 slides. So you imagine, you know, I've given like 3 of those. That's 90 of the drawings plus all the ones that are on my site. It's a little overwhelming. It's like I have a ream of paper strewn about my room with little Sharpie marks on it.
I think they're wonderful. I mean, I would right there with the FB at the top and the tower. You know.
Yeah, I love this one.
I would wear that on a T-shirt.
I totally would also.
That is awesome. Arnold, by the way, wants to film JD protesting against social media on the streets.
We can do that in. I'll be seeing Arnold in San Francisco in February, I'm sure. So let's arrange it. Let's just do it in San Fran.
Just make sure you don't sit down on the curb, because they'll arrest you.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't see that San Francisco passed that? You can't like sit or lay on the sidewalk.
Really?
That makes sense.
No.
It's for walking. It's a
Yeah,
sidewalk.
you get fined. Well, they have a homeless problem.
Okay.
What if you're old like me?
Well, the business is
What if you have to tie your shoe?
The homeless need to sit down too.
Yes, exactly.
But what if you have to tie your shoe or something?
Benches for them to sleep on.
There you go.
Why don't they just fix the homeless problem? That's what I don't understand.
Next week on Social Blade, we start talking
You know,
about the homeless issues
I
in
think we
San
also need to
Francisco.
fix the Facebook list problem.
You know what? Every homeless person should have a Facebook page. I agree.
Well, I actually spent the night on the streets of San Francisco a couple years ago because I missed the train to the mainland, and I got yelled at by a cop because I was sleeping on the stairs leading down to the subway station. She didn't believe me that I wasn't a bum.
And that's why you had to note to self now not to do that again.
Well, I mean, Jeff, look at you
Is
there.
that how we ended up on the Social Blade show? Has like each of us been homeless at some point?
Yes, I have.
I
I strive for it. I shoot for that every Thursday, as a matter of fact. How long have you been doing this blog, by the way?
I started in January, so not terribly long.
No, it's coming up on a year. That's you've already greatly eclipsed the average lifespan of your standard blog.
Yeah.
So nice work there.
Now, Jay, I want to ask you: have you ever had any international recognition from this blog?
I have in a lot of different weird ways. So the most interesting one is recently I got an email, and at first I literally thought it was like a phishing email because it was like invitation to be keynote speaker at conference in Lithuania, and I was just like it was just a pure what the fuck moment because. And it was on Thanksgiving Day, too. And it was sent to me at 1 p.m, which, if I look at Lithuanian time, which is 7 hours ahead of us, so that's like 8, 9 p.m. there. So it just doesn't seem like the time if you're actually organizing a conference, you'd be like sending out emails to people in Lithuanian time, that is. But it's like it's a legitimate thing, and apparently they want me to speak. I don't know if they're going to fly me over there or Skype me in or what, but I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Otherwise, though, I do have a lot of international readers, and my stuff does get like tweeted and mucked around into other languages, which is really interesting for me because I failed as a classical singer, but something you pick up is you pick up a lot of the European languages from studying the operas. So I can kind of like read what people are saying about me, but this stuff in like Russian and like Latvian and like Swedish, it's terrifying.
We actually have someone from Lithuania or a Lithuanian in our audience right now. William W3 is Lithuanian, and he is. I'm waiting for him to say something in Lithuanian so that we can see if you can translate it for us.
I think he did. Labas. Labas.
Am I saying it right, William? Labas? Or labas?
Labas.
Labas.
It means hello. I like that.
So there's your first lesson, Jay. So you can open up with that.
Sweet.
So walk out on stage and say Labas, and then everybody
Now I
goes
just need
silent.
to. Now I just need to know if like this conference is real. Like William, you need to like tweet me. Like I need to know if this conference is real and they're serious.
So you just don't show up, and then it's just some dudes in some random home.
Well, that, and it's not like it's like, you know, so like not I understand like they're contacting me, and like English is not their first language. So like I get that. But you know, like I'm still kind of like, I haven't heard anything back since the initial like email of exchange, so I'm kind of like wondering if they just blanketed people. You
It's
know?
a long way to go to get,
A
screwed.
lot of requests for keynotes if they were blanketing people. Though. I mean, it's not like they just asked you to attend or to speak. They wanted you to truly speak. I think it's legit, but yeah, I would definitely look into it.
You'll have to
I'm
let us
definitely doing my
know.
due diligence beforehand.
Yes, if they
You
ask
know.
for your social security number and your bank account routing number, that's when you
Oh,
run.
Are they stuck in England,
I realize
JD?
I don't have much in my bank account.
Nice.
I work in
Well,
social media, not something that makes money like a law firm.
yeah, who would have worked there? No, that's excellent. So we have. I need to append our introduction. It was failed classical singer, successful social media blogger, and soon to be international guest speaker in Lithuania. Jay Dolan, thank you so much for being on the show. This is some classic stuff in here. I'm gonna have to parse this out and see if we can put this. This is definitely gonna go on the best of Social Blade once we can get Ergo to start working on that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for being on the show, my friend.
Yes, thank you,
Oh,
Jay.
Yeah, thanks
Thank you all
very
for
much.
having me.
Appreciate it,
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I want to
Next time,
thank.
if you have me back, I won't run away.
Well, no, it's a valid runaway if there's a chance of being kidnapped or bodily harm. You know, phone calls. I've had two since the show came on. And I shut them off, but then again, I'm in the safety of my own home, not in a dark theater where Phantom of the Opera might be sitting.
The dark theater with the fluorescent lights.
The dark theater with the big glowing neon lights in the background. Exactly. Very scary stuff there. You never know. I mean, ghosts are not. Anyway. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you again to our audience. You guys are very, very interactive. Make sure to let everyone know that about future shows because we're really branching out at Social Blade and trying to bring the best we can. Thank you to our sponsor, who I haven't mentioned until now. No, it's not really Dr. Pepper or YouTube as much as we'd like it to be, but it is LightspeedNow.com, who is sponsoring us, and they actually sponsored our something or another that we paid for last week that they had me send money about. So I don't know what that is, but I sent the money, and I'm hoping that Ergo and Aaron use it well. Make sure to follow us. We are Social Blade, and as a result, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under the name Social Blade. Twitter.com/socialblade, Facebook.com, YouTube.com. You get the point. Be sure to go to our blog, socialblade.com/blog, which that's probably where you are at right now. So bookmark us, and you can go there and suggest a guest from our blog. You can also check out our past guests as well as read our social media, Social Blade style posts, epic that they are, and more frequent as I've noticed lately. And found out about that today. You can also sign up for SMS alerts. SMS alerts with Social Blade. All you got to do is go to j.mp/subus. That's j.mp/subus. And you can get updates for our show. You can also get it for Ask Outcast, which is Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Ban on the Web, which will someday be Tuesdays 10 p.m. Eastern. And also the Drill Down, which is Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So when you're feeling antisocial and you just want to give it all up, go to theantisocialmedia.com, and then when you're done with that, go to Social Blade because we are Social Blade.